Hello class. Today we're going to do a graphing activity. So I need you to review how to graph coordinates on a coordinate plane or a grid or a graph. Okay, so I do need you to take some notes on this. You are going to have a test question very similar to this where you have to identify the parts of a graph. So on your daily notebook, what I'd like for you to do is please draw for me a graph. In other words, draw me a graph like this. Put your arrows. Put a couple tick marks going each direction. And be ready to identify these parts. I'll give you a few moments to draw your graph. Okay, so let's talk about the parts of the graph. The first thing we want to focus on is this point right here in the middle. This point is called the origin. It is where every coordinate originates. That's why we call it the origin. It has a location. Its location is 0, 0. Now it is in the middle of two lines, and these lines are very important. So the first line we need to talk about is this one right here. Okay, that line is called the x-axis. So all of your x parts of your coordinates are going to go right or left using that line. The other line that we need to talk about is this one right here. This one is called the y-axis. Now again, like I said, I need you writing these notes down. So please do so in your daily notebook. So we've got our x and y-axis, and they intersect at the origin, which is 0, 0, or the point where all coordinates originate. Now this graph is divided into 4 sections that are called quadrants. Now these quadrants are very easy to understand. Quadrant 1 is the top right one, and all coordinates in quadrant 1 are going to be positive, positive. In other words, your x value and your y value of a coordinate will both be positive numbers. The second quadrant is quadrant number 2, and we write the quadrants using Roman numerals. Now the coordinates in quadrant 2 are all going to be negative, positive. Okay. The next quadrant is going to be bottom left, which is going to be quadrant 3. Okay, all coordinates in quadrant 3 are going to be negative, negative. And then the last quadrant is going to be quadrant number 4, and all the coordinates in quadrant 4 will be positive, negative. So those are the types of numbers that we're going to use inside each of those coordinates for each of those quadrants. Now let's look at a couple of points. So the first point I want us to look at is this one right here. So we want to figure out what is the coordinate for that point. Well, in order to do that, all you do is you start at the origin, and you're going to count how many to the right there is. That's going to be your x value. And you're going to count how many up there is. That's going to be your y coordinate. So in this particular instance, we're going to go 3 to the left. So your x coordinate is going to be a 3. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up. So that means the coordinate or the location of that point is 3, 7. And again, both of those points are numbers are going to be positive because the coordinate in quadrant 1 will be positive, positive. Now let's look at this other point over here. Okay, well this point, you're going to go left, which refers to a negative number, and up. Okay, so let's see. It's going to go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes left 5. And it goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also. So this coordinate is left 5, so that x value is actually going to be a negative 5. And it goes up 5. So it's a positive 5. So the location of that second coordinate is negative 5, positive 5. Well, what if I picked another point? What if I picked this point right here? Well, this point, okay, if we were to look at its coordinate, you'll notice it goes left 2, so that's going to be a negative 2, and it goes down 3. So that would be a negative 2, negative 3 is that location. Okay, so what if we did one more coordinate over here in quadrant 4? Well, in this coordinate, it's going to go right 4. So your first number is going to be 4. Your second number is going to be a negative 3. So those are coordinates in each one of those quadrants. And that's how you do a coordinate. You always do the left or right number first. If it's right, it's positive. If it's left, it's negative. And up or down, second. That is your y number. Okay, because each coordinate is an x, comma, y. Okay, and it basically just tells you a location. Now, what you're going to do today is you're going to do, I know it's probably one of your most favorite activities, you're going to do a graphing picture. Okay, you've all done these before, so it's not anything new. The reason why we're doing this is to practice graphing coordinates, because over the next few days, we're going to take the algebraic expressions that we've been working on, and we're going to learn how to graph them. Each algebraic expression makes a unique graph. So we have to be proficient at graphing coordinates in order to be able to graph algebraic expressions. So what you're going to have is you're going to have a set of coordinates, and you're going to have a graph, a coordinate grid, and you're going to put those on the coordinate grid. So in the instructions, what you're going to do is you will see a series of points, like this first series right here. Okay, now what you're going to do is you will start at the first point. It says 7, 2. Okay, so let me go to a bigger graph. So this is what you'll actually get, a set of coordinates that's this size and a coordinate grid. So you'll notice that the first one says 7, 2. So you're going to go to your coordinate grid and you're going to find 7, 2. So that means I'm going to go right 7, up 2, and put a dot. Okay. And then you're going to go to 9, 2. So then you're going to go on 9, up 2, and then those 2 points you're going to connect with a line. And then the next one says 9, 4. So we're going to go 9, 4, and then you're going to connect those with a line. The next one says 7, 4. So you're going to go over 7, up 4, right there, and then connect those two with a line. And then 7, 2. So you're going to go back. So basically that first one makes a nice little box. And then you pick up your pencil. All right? And then you start a new line. And so then you'll do this line. And then you're going to do this line. And then you're going to do this one, or whatever it happens to be, whatever shape it happens to be. Okay? And you will do those. You can do them in any order as long as you do the entire thing. Okay? The entire set of coordinates for that particular graph. When it's all said and done, you will end up with a picture. Now, I showed you up here, I can't remember what his name is, but I'm sure you remember what his name is from Monsters, Inc. Okay? It's not that picture. It's something different. Okay? So we've reviewed the parts of a coordinate grid. Now what I'd like for you to do for the remainder of the period is take these coordinates and graph them. Now you're not going to turn this in today. If you finish it in class, just do something quiet. You will turn this activity in tomorrow. Yes, this is for a grade. It will be your first grade of your next 6 weeks. Okay, so until tomorrow, please behave. I'll see you then.